All right, guys, this is DJ Wolf Live on the Friday edition. Now, as you know, Chris Rock over the weekend did what I would masterfully call one of the greatest comedic specials of all time. It's way up there. It's up there with some of the best stuff Rich Pryor's ever done, as far as I'm concerned. But there was also an extreme teachable moment with Chris Rock's special that a lot of people don't realize, particularly the haters. You know, haters, they don't understand shit no way. The haters, you know, thinking, oh, Chris Rock was just doing this to get revenge. And Chris Rock should have just let it go. And, you know, Chris Rock needs to just move on with it. And, you know, there's a lot of things Chris Rock could have done. Chris Rock could have actually got Will arrested. Jada being an accomplice, although that's a technical thing. But he could have got Will arrested for first degree assault. He could have. He didn't. Chris Rock could have sued Will Smith for umpteen millions. Oh man, he would have had a field day on that. You know? Chris Rock probably would have been owning he probably would have owned Will Smith's property as a result of that slap alone. You know, but he didn't. Just saying. A lot of things he could have did with that. Chris Rock could have hit him back. He didn't. But this was part of the teachable moment in itself. The teachable moment was that Chris Rock, as a black man, decided to take the very high ground of saving both his and Will Smith's careers by not doing anything other than doing the stand-up special where he had to come back, and I'll get to that in a second. But he took the high ground, and the high ground sometimes is a good thing. You know, our culture is admiring, oh, if you hit me, I hit you back type of mentality. That is true. Our culture is bred on that. You know, but sometimes, and every once in a while, when you come right down to it, when you work in those dingy clubs with these janky promoters and managers for years and years and years, you had to deal with to build yourself up to a brand, which is what Chris Rock and Will Smith done separately over 30 years, well over 30 years. They're brand names, they're household names. Okay, you know, Will Smith, A-list actor. Chris Rock, A-list comic. He can name his own price as a comedian, especially now. But what I'm saying is, he played chess and played it very well. He really did. And yet, people are still hating on him. For what? Because he didn't take a punch, he didn't throw a punch back. That's a very hood mentality for a situation that does not have nothing to do with the hood at all. You know, you've elevated yourself to do something beyond the hood, and yet you want him to lower his standards. And Chris Rock wasn't having that. And you know, I truly admire that. You know, I was listening to a couple of programs this morning where they talked about Chris Rock special in depth, and it was inspiring. It was truly inspiring, folks. To say the least, it was truly inspiring. It really was. Truly inspiring. You know? It really was. It truly inspiring, like I've never seen before. And why I say it's truly inspiring, because the fact that he took the high road. You see, his parents taught him not to, you know, show out in front of white folks. But I think he didn't want to show out, period. And Chris Rock could have very well showed out anytime he wanted to. You know? But the lesson that he was teaching here is about sometimes you can't always take the low road to get what you want. or to get your satisfaction. Sometimes you have to do it through the high ground. It's an extremely teachable lesson here. Because he's even teaching kids at some point, look, somebody might hit you, may not always be feasible to hit somebody back. Might not be the best thing to do. You know? You get them back in other ways. You know? Sometimes you have to, man. Sometimes you have to. There are teachable lessons there. Now, I know I was a kid, you know, as kids always do. Kids always make fun of other kids and vice versa. And kids used to joke on me when I was a kid, call me everything but son of God. There was a girl who used to tell me all the time. She was brutal towards me, man, growing up. I saw her back in the 80s, right? She was I ran to her at a bar. Man, she was looking bad. Nobody really wanted her. I never wanted her anyway, but that's another story. She ran there. She wanted to get at me. And I told her I wasn't interested. And she felt so dejected, man. But then I felt a little bit of the satisfaction. Hey, this girl used to call me everything but son of God. You know, she didn't exactly beat me up or anything. Not that I can recall. I don't recall her putting hands on me, but she was very mean to me. But I was like, nah, I'm good. Didn't want it. She saw I was looking good. You know, and you know, I had a little longer hair, I had more jerry curl. I was looking fly them up. And then she wanted to get at me. I was like, I wasn't even interested. I said, we could be friends. I told her, we could be friends. She wanted to get with me for real. I was like, nah, we could be friends. But that's cool. And that was the last time I saw her. And I know a couple people in my family knew her too. And they ran into her. She was looking pretty bad. I felt bad for her though. Because I didn't know where the status was. But otherwise, I wasn't interested. But like I said, you know. But sometimes revenge is best served cold. You know? That's what Chris Rock did to Will Smith. But I don't know why people are hating on him about it. That's what I don't understand that. What? It's the fact that you felt that Will slapped him was a good thing? Maybe that's what it was for some people. They thought it was a good thing that he slapped Chris Rock. There was no reason for him to have slapped Chris Rock at all. You know, you can't fucking get mad at every comedian who crack a joke on you. They're comedians. That's what they do for a living. They make light of situations. You know, the joke was not brutal at all. If anything, Chris Rock could have talked about the entanglement situation. He never taught it. He didn't even touch it at all. Never touched it. Never touched it once. Didn't touch it. Period. Never mentioned entanglement ever. He certainly did. He didn't touch it, period. And he very well could have. But he didn't. You know? And that was a smart thing on his part, you know? But yet, you know, he cracked a very mild joke. And what makes it so crazy, Will laughed at the joke until Jada told him not to laugh and get at him. And like a robot, he walked up there and did just that. That's the irony. That's why I know something in Will's character, for lack of a better word, is really messed up. He did that to himself. He did it to himself. It was like he was a robot, like, now get it. Yeah. I never, to this day, I'll never understand. Will Smith, I'll tell you, he's become unstable. He tried to come off like he's the most stable person on the planet through a lot of videos that he did prior to that. Now I know he's not as quite stable as he tried to claim he is. He'd be lucky to get any more big blockbusters anymore after that slap. Really. He'd be lucky if he gets an opportunity to do any more big films. I don't think his career is going to be the same. And it shouldn't be after that. You know, I hate to say it. You know, maybe one day they'll get together and become friends again. Who knows? I don't know. Not up to me. It's up to those two. You know, where do you want to go with it? But like I said, Chris Rock had every right to defend himself verbally. And people still didn't like that. That's what I don't understand. But that's our culture. We got people in our culture that think violence is okay. But the old saying goes, violence begot violence. In other words, you do violence to somebody's gonna do violence to you, and it keeps on going. You know? It escalates to a potential bloodbath. That's not good. You know? This would have been a virtual bloodbath between the two if it had escalated in terms of Chris Rock going to sue Will Smith or him going to fight Will Smith at the Oscars. Could have been damaging for both of their careers. But yet he saved their careers by not doing it. You know, a brother attacking another, fighting back another brother over something dumb. No. Chris Rock should be commended, lauded, and applauded for what he did. He really should. He should be absolutely 100% praised for what he did. But no, you got these trolls, dickheads, little punks who roll with the bullshit about, oh man, I hit him, man. For what? So you could lose everything you work for? So you could prove to everybody, oh, I'm tough. I ain't nobody going to do that to me. Now, if it was a different situation, okay, there's a gray area there. You're right. You could have went one way up. But this was the fucking Oscars. This is the moment that people dream about. Literally dream about. The moment that you worked your craft your whole life, your whole career, to get to that moment where you get the respect and honor that you deserve. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. That was a night that Will Smith needed to be honored and deserved prior to that slam. He really did. He worked his ass off. Will Smith is probably one of the best known black actors since Sidney Poitier. Yes, I said it. He is. He's one of the most, well, Sidney Poitier, Denzel Washington. I said Denzel Washington. He's one of the most respected black actors since Denzel Washington. He really is. Will has held his own for more than 30 years. All right? You got to give him that, regardless of what he did. You got to give him that. I'll give him all the praises in the world for that. Real talk. I saw King Richard. Brilliant film. One of his best films. One of, I say, 3 or 4 of his best films. You know? There's no doubt about that. Will Smith was on his grind with that movie, man. He put the work in. You know? But my thing of it is, that's where I'm saying he fucked up when he did that. He did. The slap was the thing that put his career right now in jeopardy. It has. And it did. You know? It put his career in jeopardy. He did his own zone with Jay's blessing. He allowed her to bless him to do what he did. And originally, I don't think he was intending to do it initially to Jada. He gave him a nod. Gave him a look, rather. And that's a fact. People say what they want, but it was pretty obvious. The video don't lie. And it was on live TV, so no. My thing is that, you know, if this was in another situation, maybe at a restaurant or bar, then Chris Rock cracked the joke and Will hit him. Chris Rock would have had every right to hit him back. But he probably would have still took the high ground anyway, and that would have been fine. Because, you know, somebody would have had pictures or video footage or something. about that. They would have had video footage or something like that. Yeah, they would have. But my thing over there is he did the right thing. But I don't understand how other black folks can get mad for him doing, and people in general can get mad for him doing the right thing. That's what I don't. But like I said, I know what it is. It's that hood mentality. You know? And you can't sit there and be a hood rich person, work your ass off to get what you got, like a Grammy or an Oscar or something like that, and then decide to throw it all away over nothing. That's the dumbest thing ever. Over nothing. And you got black folks do that kind of stupid stuff. Over literally nothing. Nothing. Yeah, absolutely nothing. You know. There are folks out there that would do that. Throw their careers away with bullshit. Hey, you got some fools out here today, boy. Fools. Get off my ass. Driving like fools, too. Yeah. They will risk their careers over dumb stuff. Aren't worried. They absolutely do. Yep. Dumb stuff. Real dumb stuff. People in general, anyway. But it's just the fact that people are that stupid. You know. But when you got that old ghetto hood rich mentality, you're willing to risk that kind of stupidity, thinking you can bounce back. Nah. Nope. You can't bounce back over stupidity, folks. Wow. You can't bounce back over stupidity, folks. That's all there's to it. Nope. Bottom line. And people try it. All the hurt and pain that you suffered, wherever you came from, you take it out on other people. That's wrong. We haven't learned our lessons in our community sometimes about things that hurt us. The violence that's taking people out senselessly over nothing. We haven't learned that. You know? You have to learn from mistakes. You have to learn from other people's mistakes. And I think that was the thing that I think was bigger than Will and Chris at the Oscars, is that Chris really was teaching us a lesson about humility. Even though we all know it was wrong for Will to do what he did. You know, it was clearly wrong. Clearly wrong, like I don't know what. About wrong is wrong. Wrong is. You know. And it was wrong. It was wrong all day. It was wrong. It was just plain out wrong. Period. It was just wrong. All kind of wrong. You know. It's wrong, period. But the thing of it is, people gotta learn, man, to think about the situations before they act upon it. That's in essence what Chris Rock did. He thought about a specific situation before he acted upon it. No doubt about that. He did. He thought about it. When he was thinking, you can't just sit there and, you know, react immediately after that. And he was like, what just happened here? You know, I'm thinking, here I am, a multi-millionaire. Here Chris is a multi-millionaire. Do you know collectively how this would have looked if we both reacted at the same time? stand down. You know? I had no choice. I'm thinking the bigger picture, which is what this is about. The bigger picture. The bigger picture is my family, my career. Okay? Think about what I'm saying. My family, my career is on the line after this slap if I reacted in a certain manner. Think about what I'm saying, folks. This is the lesson that Chris Rock taught everybody that night in March of last year. Thinking about my family, my career, what I did to have a family, what I did to build a career, what I stand to lose after everything that I worked my ass off. Working in dingy, dirty nightclubs, dealing with janky promoters. Probably had to sleep in cars a couple of times. You know, being thrown under the bus by family members, telling me what I ain't gonna do, what I can't do. You don't know. You know? Being bullied, being harassed, all the stuff that you work through to get through to get the haters off the back, to get where you got, and you want to risk that your career over a slap. Folks, if that ain't a stroke of genius, after Chris Rock reacted the way he did, and he eloquently handled it, I don't know what the fuck is. I don't. If you can't understand that, you need to get your fucking head examined. If you can't understand why Chris Rock handled it the way he did, maybe you need to get yourself checked out. Seriously. It was nothing but a stroke of genius. Nothing short of that. And if you don't believe that, there's something wrong with you. And yes, I said something is seriously wrong with you. Bottom line, I'm out.